for example, have can I find some example or not really? So for example, if we had like some element that would, for example, you see like it's using sticks, this construction element, and if this imagine that length of it is not in the range, and first thought that comes to my mind, I need to change the length here, and that will fix the issue. Yes, it will fix the issue here for this structure specifically, but it may break it for all the structures from the list. So when you are doing that, you actually need to double check if it breaks other structures, because sometimes it might be better to add a new construction element, and then you can add it to black. There might be situations that you add the same element twice. So, for example, imagine that I have sticks here, right? Like you don't need to imagine, I have it here, and I just make a duplicate of sticks. I'm gonna get errors that I have two duplicate construction, like two similar construction elements, and that isn't allowed. So you need to either add one of them to blacklist, so it's not used by this building with this construction preset, or you need to change the values so they are different, so they are not getting assigned at the same time. That's like, yeah, so you can basically have multiple construction elements uh, for the same material, because you can have like different meshes with the same material, and they all have different lengths, widths, thickness, attitude, all of that, and you want to be flexible. You want to basically be able to change them to adjust for your needs, but you also need to keep in mind that there can be duplicates. For that, you use blacklist. So, for example, I add another like duplicate this sticks, then I need to add them to blacklist of this construction preset, but I also need to add it to blacklist of other construction of all of these buildings. Otherwise, I'm gonna get an error. So yeah, it's tricky. You may get confused at first, but yeah, that's how it works. You just need to like master it basically. Yeah, so let's proceed. We have all these red things here that are missing construction elements. We can also move them so that we see which ones are actually red that we need to fix. We can move them even more. We can also show error locations. We can disable draw meshes if you want to. Like it's very flexible. You can adjust it for your needs. So let's fix the biggest red square that I see. And as you can see, like let's reconsider it. So when we are, yeah, let's step back. So when we are in this situation, we are clicking on something that is red, and sometimes maybe like this. No, sometimes we can see it like this. Yeah, we have some match with material, but the properties aren't like don't match. And we can have a situation like this where we don't have any materials that matches. So in this case, we need to add new construction element. So we could create. We also need to make sure that the name is unique. So if we type stick, we already have plenty of sticks. We can try sticks, but something different. Like we can try roof, for example. Roof stick, right? No, it's unique. Let's go. Roof sticks. We created it. Now, if we go to our building, it's still red. It happens sometimes because, I mean, here it happens because we haven't We just created the material, the construction element, but we need to edit, assign what building order it should have, and also assign like what construction element resource it should use, if any. Like for example, we may say that we don't want it to use it, then we set it to decorative. In this case, I think it makes sense to make it use something. So let's do wood, because we have wood in the recipe already, and it makes sense for tier 0. We have wood here and flags, so we can assign wood. We can also assign flags, that's fine. So we assign wood, we assign building order. So I think it should match with sticks. So it should be wall default, I think. That makes sense. Maybe not even wall default, but wall 4. Let's do wall 4. So we assign wall 4. I see it on the left, like the building order, and yeah, so that's how I see. Yeah. Now let's save it, and now, as you can see, now our roof became orange, which means that it now uses this preset, this construction element. We can also see it here: material, preset. Preset is construction element, and also with the build order, we see its properties, like all that kind of stuff. But we still have other stuff. I think this one is similar. We just need, yeah. So it's similar, but when a construction element gets created, it uses values from the mesh that it got created from. So in this case, our values here are very limited to the mesh, the original mesh. So as you can see, like the difference in length is just a few. It's very small, very little, so just tiny, not noticeable. So, and here length is 153, but our minimum range is 162. So we need to make it like 150, I guess. And the other issue is our thickness. It's also not in the range. Let's make it 64. Now, as you can see, a roof is there. We click recalculate, and now we can see that it shows up exactly at wall 4, right? We click recalculate, and we resave everything. Yeah, let's resave it. There will be plenty of errors still, but we are working toward fixing them. Okay, so we have other smaller issues that we need to fix. Maybe let's go to table. Table doesn't have any construction element. Oh no, it has. It does. Flat lock. So what can we do now? We can check if these construction elements that are that fit, if they are used somewhere else. So as you can see, handles is used in mixing bucket, but flat lock isn't used anywhere. It means that it was created at some point, then after some changes, it wasn't needed anymore, it stayed, but now we can reuse it. So what we need to do is we need to fix this this mismatch that we have. So average thickness is higher. We just need to set it higher. And now the issue is fixed for both like top parts of the table. As you can see, it now uses the flat lock construction element that we just modified. Now we need to fix the rest. Just do it the same way. Just go and change. So I'm doing that because it's not used anywhere else, which means I won't break anything else. I can just reuse it. Sometimes it's more like, as I said, it's more safe to create a new one, add it to blacklist, and basically be done with it. But if it's not used anywhere else, feel free to use it. Yeah, I'm just looking at these values and just fixing them. Nothing I think I need to explain. Is flat and long, just uncheck it. It doesn't make sense because it's called flat lock, but at the same time, it's not used anywhere, so that's fine.